We're here at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second race of the season at the racetrack. I am joined here with my partner Connor Meyer in the booth.
Hello.
We've got 40 cars this time and we are in our second chase race of the season. We are ready to go through the field. We're going to start off with our front row and pole sitter, Austin Yoakum. The number 10 starts alongside Tim Salmon in the 91.
Then starting third is the number 27, Anissa Johnson, and the number 30 of Chris Moore.
Behind them is Jay Langelier in the number 19, starts alongside sixth place starter. That is going to be Crasta.
Brandon Crasta. Then we have the number 15 of David Walsh, alongside the 99 of Todd Castile.
Man behind Walsh Castile, that is Thor Gunderson. He had the pole last time we were here, and the elusive man in the 28.
Starting 11th is the 92 of Caitlin Marie, and the number 35 of Timmy Weathers.
Chris Davis starts off in the 13th spot. His number 18 Dodge, Brad Smith, starts alongside him in that Nikon Ford.
Luis McClure is in the 87, alongside the 62 of Joseph Onesto.
Scott Porter in the number 24, and the chase driver starts alongside last week's winner, Brett Pritchard, in 18th.
And then we have the 86 of Arthur Xavier, and the 77 of Jonathan Rains.
Joey Sanders in the number 36 starts alongside Brian DeLuso in 22nd spot. Those are both chase drivers.
Another chase driver, the number 12 of Aaron Gabron, and the 93 of Kevin Campbell.
Titus Stroblaber, who won in the first race of the season here, he starts in the 25th spot after a bad qualifying run. He starts alongside Quinn Iso, the 95.
Starting 27th is the 21 of Aaron Douglas and the 29 of Connor Meir.
Behind both of them, we have Kyle Keith and number 42 Chevrolet starts alongside Justin Osborne in the 79.
And then there's the number 8 of Big Man, alongside the number 2 of Big Rick Johnson.
Kenny Bumber in his 72 Moneyline Ford starts alongside Andrew Weisbecker.
And the number 37 of Scott Vickers, and the number 9 of Benjamin Thomas.
Jaron Lemon starts in his number 5 car in the 37th spot alongside Russ Blackwell, his teammate, in the 38th spot.
And rounding out the field is the 78 of Trenton McPherson and the 83 of Evan Coward.
Another trend, man, that I have noticed that is continuing is the fact that Keith Motorsports is still struggling.
Yeah, they had a rough couple of weeks in qualifying.
They've been given the commands to fire. This is our second race at Auto Club Speedway back here underneath the lights. How excited are you for this one?
Really excited because last race at Auto Club earlier in the season was really good. So they got a second date this year and looking forward to it.
Should be quite the good one. Our Splash and Go Graphics Dodge Challenger leads this field around the track for a single pace lap. We got a few chase drivers. Interesting enough, we got 2 Lubricar Motorsports cars starting in the top 10 today. They've had quite a decent effort these past few races.
Yeah, I think they've had probably 3 straight top 10s so far.
That's fantastic for that team and their entire organization.
And Ben got a top 5 last week.
That was, I believe, their first top 5 for the 9 Cars organization for the entire season.
Definitely good to see him turn it around after all the issues.
They're looking to keep that up as we head into the final races of the season. This only being the second of the 4 before the cutoff. This is a very important race. Third of the 4, my bad. Austin Yoakum takes him to the green. The field immediately fans out. 3 Dodges chasing down that 4, leading the race.
And they're already 4 and 5 wide in some places.
This is one of the greater tracks to do that at. Get a nice view from the top tower. Look how bunched that entire field. That's 40 cars in that short of a span. Heading down into the corner. Yoakum still has the edge over Johnson, but man, they are close. He's getting a better run. But look out, there is the 1 car, Thor Gunnarsson, and Caitlin Marie leads them on that lap. Man, where did she start?
Changes. I think like in the 13th-ish area.
Or 11. She came up out of nowhere.
This is one of those tracks where it really doesn't matter where you qualify.
Definitely, this track acts like a super speedway with our aero package. You see Meyer started in the 28th spot. He's already up here and inside the top 10, as well as Aaron Douglas, who is leading half and half with Brett Pritchard for the final race. 4 wide for the lead as they enter into turn number 1. Lewis McClure of Western Auto Racing gets that one.
The 42 is another car that qualified pretty bad, and he's up there now.
He's a driver that really needed a race like this to be good. That team's been struggling ever since they started the chase. They're just trying to get their feet on the ground and make some sort of different headlines. They're still 4 and 5 wide. A lot of hard racing, a lot of chase drivers in that back part of the field.
Yeah, that's really not where you want to be at, because one mistake by somebody could take a lot of cars out.
Gotta love our new action cam set up by Speed. Todd Castile, he's one of those drivers trying to break free and get that 4th win to tie Francie. Do you want to do the honors in making that announcement?
Well, as of this race, next season she will be returning.
That is
leading leader in the league.
Despite missing almost 2 seasons, she still retains the honorary title of most wins. A lot of drivers are worried about how that is going to change the effects of next season.
Which it's still possible for her to lose that title by the end of the season.
It is definitely the way that these drivers have been racing as hard as they have been. We've got 4 cars that are in contention for tying that.
It's the 51 of Brett Pritchard, the 21 of Aaron Douglas, the 99 of Todd Castile, and the 42 of Kyle Keith,
who is currently leading this race. In second place, Lewis McClure. 3rd, Connor Meyer. 4th, Jared Lemon. And Jonathan Rains actually is up at the top 5 in this mix. That's been quite a while since this car's been up front.
Yeah, he's had a rough 7-8 races.
He joined in under a technical alliance of Best in the World Racing, part of that Ford Racing operation, and man, they have just had just the worst year. So he's up here, but who knows? He may have an engine or a transmission failure. There's no telling until it actually happens.
And those top 3 have a slight breakaway now.
They sure do. Again, that's the 42 of Kyle Key leading this thing. 2 chase drivers. That's him and Connor Meyer. Lewis McClure, who has been announced as not returning to Western Auto Racing at the end of the season. He has been. He has not been re-signed.
there's already a lot of rumblings in the garage of changes for next season.
There's already been word of the new car. It still has not been the official announcement to the public as to what car they are racing, but teams have received their info and have already made progress to getting next year's cars ready and the changes of drivers. Towards the end of the season, though, I'm sure they will have that up and posted for the public to see before the FARCA starts up. That'll be another highly anticipated racing series that'll be shown. We've got quite a mix of drivers joining in FARCA too.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see all the different drivers showing up for it.
All the drivers that won this season and entered in our chase, and then of course all of our previous winners from the championships and past seasons are allowed into this. So, which of course is just Brett Pritchard, but you know.
Yeah, for the championship wise, anyway.
Man, we were just talking about that 77 car is moving to the second spot. He's had quite a good race tonight.
Yeah, I think he's still searching for his first ever top 5.
Sure is. Caleb Murray, though, trying to peek to the inside of that 77 car and take that second spot from him.
And behind them is a couple of Southern Pride racing cars.
Southern Pride Racing, another team that you don't really typically see running together, but here they are. There's Andrew Weisbecker and John Castile. A lot of Dodges up there, just kind of peeking around at the back half of that top 10. You got Elusive Man, Tim Salmon, 2 cars from Douglas Western Auto Racing.
Mixed in with those Dodges is a lot of Toyotas also.
They've seemed to kind of mellowed out these past few races and been focusing more on the championship rather than the road rivalry.
Which is the smart way to look at it.
Definitely, especially when it comes down to a championship being on the line, rather than arguing it and wrecking each other. Costing both teams a lot of money.
A lot of money and a lot of points.
.42 still remains unchallenged. That is Kyle Keith leading this thing. We have Andrew Weisbeck, and we have trouble in the backstretch. Caution is out. That is Big Rick Johnson and his number 2 Dodge. He got spun coming out of turn number 2. I'm not sure by who. Looks like he was involved with Chris Moore. Looks like Chris Moore got into the wall and lost some momentum, which of course made them go 5 wide. This is a nice wide track, but, 5 cars, not a lot of room. Chris Davis kind of was a little bit of a motivator, but he had nowhere to go. Good job to Ben for avoiding any contact as well. No real big damage, though, just a little spin.
When they're racing this close together, it's really surprising to see just a single car wreck.
Very good job by all these cars avoiding that, and I don't see really much any damage to that 2 car either. He did a good job of keeping it off the wall. But, as the saying goes, cautions breed cautions.
It doesn't look like anybody's going to pit either.
No, Goodyear brought a good tire tonight, surprisingly, and they fixed the fuel consumption issue that we had at Las Vegas. So let's check up on our field. Our last time we came to Auto Club Speedway, Titus Strobelaber and the 88 from Manco Motorsports won this event. He is currently running in the 11th spot tonight. Another driver who is actually pretty far back in the field. That 21 Western Auto Dodge. He's one of the two drivers currently locked in. The second of the two is out of the Meyer Toyota Racing Organization. That's the 51 of Brett Pritchard. He is currently riding just a few spots ahead of Aaron in the 24th position. Austin Yoakum, who had the pole tonight, he is currently in our 18th spot. The gentleman who had the pole last time we were here, Thor Gunnarsson, is riding in the 33rd spot. Teams we consider that wouldn't be doing good tonight. One of them leading this race. Ford's not doing too bad. We got one of them in the top 10 who has never really been up here at all this weekend. So, not the way honestly that I would see this race going, but we're not even halfway there yet.
And it's really surprising that the Ford that is up there is the 77. Usually the 12 is leading the Fords.
Trying to make a difference going into this weekend. Our Auto Club cars too. Weisbecker running in the second spot of the Southern Pride Racing Organization. This was our first caution of the night for the single spin of Big Rick Johnson in his Red Bull Energy number 2. We still have all 40 cars racing on the track right now.
Not a good day for the 24, though. Currently last.
Surprisingly, that is also a chase driver. He's back there with Luis McClure, who was also at the front during all this, too. I believe a lot of those vehicles may have pitted, though. Those two cars did pit. It was the 87 and 24 that pitted.
Keith Motorsports has a car in first and car in last.
Maybe some strategy going on there with that, but that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. The track being a lot cooler than it was before. It's a lot faster. Fastest car on the track right now is Tim Salmon, the number 91. Ran a 39.110. That's 0.2 of a second faster than it was here in the day. Say if Keith won tonight, that would leave those 3 cars locked in to the Texas race would all be FARCA Legend drivers.
Yeah, all of, drivers from pretty much the very beginning, almost.
Lights on that Dodge are out. We're about ready to go back to the green flag. As soon as he ducks down, we'll wait until we get to the restart zone, and Kyle Keith will lead us to the green flag. But the question is, who will pass him before we get to turn 1? Elusive Man, Marie, Castile are all up there as well. Drivers who are eager for wins. The 60 needs to secure himself into a spot. We have Lubricar Motorsports. Lots of cars up here. Fans are on their feet. You can hear them cheering. We are going back to green flag racing at Auto Club Speedway. There's a problem with the 79 car. He pulls off the racetrack, off the racing surface. Need to figure out what's going wrong with that car. That is Team Motorsports, Justin Osborne, a chase driver. He's going to have to limp that car back. They need to hurry before they get to the front stretch. That way we stay green. Look at those AAA cars, man. They are really bucking it tonight.
Well, they were fast last time we were at Auto Club, so they're pretty much picking up where they left off.
Connor Meyer made some really good advances at the start of this race, at the start of this turn. Moving into the top 5, he's trying to get that Toyota up there. Elusive Man led it that time around. That's the first time that 28 car has led all year long. Scott Viggers is going bumper to bumper with him, though.
That 37 has really found some speed the last couple of races.
Really has. That car really came back out of nowhere. It used to just kind of be an experimental vehicle for the Supreme Motorsports organization, but it's been one of their top cars this past half of the season. Three, 4 wide, as you can see, all the way back towards that mid-pack, but they have fanned out for this top 5. Lots of Toyotas and lots of Dodges for this top 5. See Meyer going for the second spot. He needs this win. He's currently the highest chase driver in the race in his XYO Camry. Having a really good rebound coming from Las Vegas to Brett Pritchard, his teammate, won. Despite being involved in one of the first wrecks, he managed to work his way back to a top 15. So he's got a lot of confidence going into this race.
And 28 continues to lead. That's almost surprising.
A lot of speed, but this is a track that was really dominated last time by Manco Motorsports. Hopefully they can keep this up. Mr. Johnson following suit, Lubricar Motorsports as well. David Walsh.
This was the race that kind of pointed Dodge in the right direction.
They've really shared their notes with the rest of the other crews here, and they're doing really successful. Of course, Toyota, though, they came off of a really nice win last week, and they were the only ones to beat Dodge's West Coast swing, so they know they've got lots of speed. Right now, it's just David Walsh and Scott Vickers of the Toyota organizations up there. There are 3 different teams racing in the Dodge crew. Lubricar Motorsports got 2 of their vehicles back into the top 10. Those top 5, I should say. Those were the twin Pennzoil cars. That's Jay Langelier and Tim Salmon.
42 starting to make his way back up, though.
Sure is. He's re-entered into the 11th spot. Brett Pritchard just got around him, though. That's in the Toyota who's been working his way up. He was towards the back part when we were going through that caution. He is now in the top 15. So is Thor Gunderson. '79 car is back out on the racing surface. Dustin Osborne had a battery failure. He had to swap out the battery leads real quick and get that car back on the racetrack. Unfortunately for him, though, he did lose a lap.
And that's going to be tough to recover from.
Especially at this track. Meyer enters in the top 5 as he storms past those 2 cars. One of them his teammate, another car, Lubricar Motorsports. J.R. Lemon is following right in suit with Keith Motorsports. Nice recovery for him. Todd tried to shoot to the bottom there from J.R. Lemon. They're 4 wide going into turn 1. The 19 and the 15 are in the wall. They're able to stay accident free, but that's going to definitely hurt David Walsh's chance of winning tonight. He loses a lot of positions there.
And that's what happens when you just get a little bit too high.
They're getting really antsy when they went 4 wide there. However, some of the bigger guns, if you look at that, where Meyer Toyota Racing's got 3 of their cars right there. That is, they are 4 wide Toyotas entering into turn number 1. They are grouped up in a storm right now. Previous race winner. The 99 is in the wall. It's going to hurt Connor Meyer. He has to back off the throttle there. But better that than avoid an accident. Looks like these guys have got tire fallout going on. They're getting into the wall. Turn 2.
As that happens, the 27's trying to go around the 28.
That she does. This is on the halfway point. This is for the bonus point. So that's excellent timing there. Wow, the 5 car was really aggressive with getting underneath the 28 there. There was contact in the midway point of that corner. Previous race winner here at Auto Club Speedway, Titus Strobelaber. He has moved into the top 10 and he is passing cars. The other previous race winner of last week, Brett Pritchard, is now in the top 5 with Scott Vickers.
He's trying to go back to back.
No driver has ever gone back to back besides the one of Francie Davis. Tim Salmon, the 91, moves underneath Brett Pritchard. He's got the fastest car on the racetrack right now. Titus following in suit, trying to defend his title of leading at this racetrack. Myers recovering with the 42 car. You see these cars in tandem drafting right now. The Toyota's pushing each other, the Dodge is pushing each other.
And all this fighting's helping the 27.
Certainly is, but she's got the 5 car. J.R. Lemon trying to take the lead tonight. Pulling the slide job throughout the corner. Not quite enough to be able to close it. But he will still lead the lap. Rest of the field is all.
There's the 51.
There he goes. Defending race winner, that is the 51 from last week. Titus in the top 5 also. He's trying to move up.
Three wide for the lead.
Almost getting into the wall, exiting the corner there, but it's going to be Tim Salmon. Myers back in the top 10. He recovered quite fast. He's got a really fast car. They're 4 wide again, though. Brad Smith out of nowhere.
$19 after hit the wall is back up there.
A lot of these chase drivers, 3 wide right there. That's Connor going for second, trying to get around the 60 car. Where did he come from? Porter is also
You'll be saying that all day.
Benjamin Thomas and Chris Davis, those 2 Dodgers working together. They're 4 wide. Someone's going to give and get into that wall again.
And there's the 24 who restarted last.
He's moved up with Anissa Johnson. She's back up here. This field is shifting. Libercar Motorsports, Connor trying to bunch them up and keep them away. He is in the 2nd spot, trying to get himself locked in with his teammate. Langelier makes contact with the quarter panel. He's trying to move around and join up there. Lubricard trying to dominate this thing.
Which is something that team hasn't really done.
No, not at all. And there you got 2 cars leading this race, and Ben, who is slowly creeping up in the top 10, almost to the top 5 now. Chris Davis enters into the top 5. It's been a long time since I've been able to say that. A lot of dodges up here right now. We're good 4 wide. Hang on down here, guys. Here comes Kenny Bambura. He bumped his way into this front pack. They're 4 wide entering into turns 3 and 4. Caitlin backs off smartly. That would have been a big mess.
That's one thing they're doing really good is keeping it all together so far.
Definitely, as far as crazy as it was these past few races here. See Douglas pushing Caitlin into the corner. Moves them around the Fords. Those 2 teams, that's a first. It's been a while since I've seen those cars work together. '72, that Ford is fast. Words I never thought I would say this season.
And just like that, there's really only one Dodge up front now.
A few of them in the back trying to recover in the bottom part of the top 10. There's surprisingly quite a few Fords up here right now. Krasta and his 63 cars moving up with Benjamin Thomas. They brought him an all-new car.
Ben is just working with everybody. And it's working out for him.
It is. He's got himself now back into the top 10. Once again, he struggled starting these races, but he's got quite the long-run car. We're now with 15 laps to go. Tim Salmon leading this thing. Contact! Benjamin Thomas almost spins out the 29 car. Good save by Connor Meyer. Didn't lose any speed, but that car was sideways with contact from the 9. Connor Meyer gets right to the back bumper. He taps the back bumper of the 9 car. Lets him know he is not happy with that move. Goes to the inside to follow Johnson and make the pass. Using that frustration as momentum, he goes back to the 3rd spot.
And that just adds more to the Dodge versus Toyota.
Exactly. We're just talking about they were working with each other tonight, and then bam, out of nowhere, the 9 car just kind of kills it. Quite the head of steam, those 2 cars. Did you see that?
Just came out of nowhere.
Bambura and Salmon still leading this thing. We're watching the battle for 3rd. That is a Lucen man, by the way. Xavier, who also won here on one of the West Coast swings. That is another car to look out for.
In 24, we're trying to work around the 72.
Shirley's trying to. Got a few lanes of 3 wide back. Just can't even a little eye on them. Meanwhile, Scott Porter does manage to work his way around Bambura. Now he's going to try and fight on that Dodge. They're going to make it be 3 wide. The Lucen man slides up the track, runs out of grip.
Those Dodges just aren't patient.
No, they are not. They are racing as hard as they can. There's 3 different teams. We got a wreck in the backstretch. That's the 62 car. Mr. Joseph Ernesto He's got some damage to the back of that Chevrolet. Let's find out to see what happened. It looks like we got an onboard camera with a 36. Let's go ahead and see what Sanders saw. Looks like he just had a run on the 62 car. Bumpers locked up, had nowhere to go. Just a racing incident there.
There's been a couple of chasers.
Here's the crazy part is we stayed green during that. Was able to get the car moving. FARCA officials said let him race. Less than 10 laps to go, the elusive man just made the pass on the 91. This was
pretty close to catching that 79.
Yeah, that'll make a big change as to what's going to happen. It's a Chevy, so he's not going to want to like let him go or anything like that. But there's Scott Porter right there, so maybe that could be a help for him.
Well, there's his teammate in like 5th.
Exactly, too. Benjamin Thomas in 4th.
He's been sneaky good the last few weeks.
He really has been. That Jiffy Lube Dodge has really turned around. Salmon went back to the lead there. That inside line's got a lot of grip. If he can hook it, it'll stick.
Looks like the 24 and the 28 kind of rubbed a little bit.
Again, with those Dodges really being impatient, they don't like getting past and they try to get around them as quick as they can. Chris Davis, another one of those Dodges, right there behind Caitlin Marie. She's looking on the 86 right now. She's the highest running Toyota. Got 8 laps to go right now. She's now working into the 2nd spot with a bump from the 28 car. She's got a good head of steam. 28 working his way now around her. They're 3 wide entering into turns 3 and 4. Connor Meyer following the 28. Now they know it's the end of this race. They're trying to go as hard as they can. .24 pushes that 60 car high. He's fighting to keep that spot. The 51 of Brett Pritchard, he's moving up fast. There's a problem with the 2 car of Bigert Johnson. He is slowing down on the apron. We stay green.
By next lap, they'll catch the 79.
Oh, they will for sure. This is going to cause an issue with the finish. I guarantee it. We may even see a caution. At this point, the next flag will end the race as well. If we have a caution, we have a winner. 3 wide going for the 2nd spot. Connor making it 4 wide for 2nd. They edge closer and closer to that lap car. It is 4, almost 5 wide. The 86 is running out of grip. He's going to move up to the top of the racetrack. Scott Porter, Brandon Crasta moving to 2nd. Brett Pritchard, he's there. Trent McPherson, he is there. I have no idea who will win this thing. If they can catch Tim Salmon.
Hey, they got to catch Salmon first, and then they got to get around him.
They got to not wreck. They're 4 wide again. Catching up to that lap car. That's the 91. Let's see how much this slows in. The 51's pushing the 24. They're catching the 91 because of this. '79 throws the block on the 91. He is throwing the block on the Dodge, knowing there is a Chevy in 2nd spot. We've seen this multiple times this year. The leader get held up by a different manufacturer. He is mere driving that 91 car. The The 24 and the 51 have caught. Can the 51 repeat?
Yeah, you have to think this might end up helping the 51 more than the 24.
It might. 24 is now able to make the pass. The 79 officially was able to block the 91. At this point, the 79 is now just trying to retain his lead lap. 51 peeks to the inside of the 24. We have 3 laps to go. Elusive Man is also there. '24 is able to pass on the outside of the 79 car. 79 is coming down the pit. The 91, we have it. Cars are running out of fuel. We didn't have a lot of caution laps this race. Are they going to have enough to make it to the end?
Well, that's a plot twist.
Wow. They're going to come to the white flag and have no gas. Cars are pulling off the racetrack. We're going to have to keep a close eye on this. It's going to be white flag this time they come around. The 24 looks like he may be... The 51 is coming down. The 24 stays out.
How can he make it all the way around?
We'll have to see. They are definitely running a lot slower. Look at that. They're trying to limp it around. This 28 of Elusive Man is also doing the same thing. Anissa's there. The 72 is there. The 18, Chris Davis, is there. But do they have enough gas? And they sure will. It is going to be the 24 of Scott Porter winning on a fuel mileage race. Manco Motorsports is Elusive Man finishes second. Anissa Johnson is third. Chris Davis getting his first top 5 and only his second race is fourth. The 60 car finishes 5th. Marie finishes 6th. Xavier 7th, Castile gets a top 10, Langelier top 10, and David Walsh top 10. I was not expecting that.
No, not at all.
But a big congratulations to the 24 car. You get locked into the Texas race. I was just talking bad about Keith Motorsports at the beginning of this race, and look at that.
And now we got a Chevy, a Toyota, and a Dodge locked in.
Each manufacturer, so... You know, we had so many cautions the first time we came here. They battled it out to the end. I thought we had cars that were blowing up.
Yeah, no, the last thing we were expecting was fuel mileage to play a factor.
No, that's crazy. So 2 races in a row we've had issues with fuel. This one just because the run went so long, drivers didn't know that they were going to be running out at the end. This caught all of our crew chiefs off guard.
But if I remember correctly, I think the 24 and like the 86 did pit on that first caution.
They did. They were very smart about that, and because of that, it paid off. The 24 won the race, and the 86, who previously won on one of our West Coast swings, finished in the top 10, so it paid off for them. Somebody else here did the math just in case this race wasn't Wreckfest. And it paid off big time tonight. What's crazy is that the 24 didn't pit. Elusive Man would have gotten his first win.
It's one of those crazy situations, though.
So another fantastic race at Auto Club Speedway. Obviously, for sure, we will be coming back to this race next year twice again. Our day race and our night race. 3 different manufacturers are locked into the Texas race. We are coming towards the end of the season. I believe this is our 4th season for the FARCA Racing Series. Where are we headed to next week? I think we got our Super Speedway, correct? Remember we got
I
Daytona?
think it's Daytona.
Another race where we cannot predict anything at all, nor will we know what will happen. Just remember when we go to Daytona, we are restrictor plateless. So get ready for another fun race and high speeds for this aero package. And look forward to another good race. We will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining in with us on Speed. Myself and Connor signing out.